Bitcoin, it's, all these people predicting, I see it a little bit differently. I want to see how you see it. Let's start with Bitcoin.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
What's going on? What's pushing its pump at the moment?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, well, thank you. Before I get into the topic of Bitcoin, let me do just a 30 seconds introduction for ourselves. So we're the only one Bitcoin mining crypto public company in UAE, even in the whole Middle East. And as early as 2022, we as a startup team, we helped the sovereign, which is UAE central government, sovereign wealth fund ADQ, to build up the strategic Bitcoin reserve, which has become a buzzword right now, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and on top of that, we are also managing the crypto exchange along with the Abu Dhabi investor, and also a Cypher fund, which is a crypto asset management company. Yeah, so to answer your question regarding the Bitcoin, I think, right now the consensus is, sort of being formed as a digital gold. But, how the gold become a 18 trillion asset class, it take like 5,000 years. And along the way, there are some kind of competitors, right? Silver, etc. A lot of, precious metal, they want to compete with gold to become the store of the value.
Yeah.
And the Bitcoin actually, they come across a lot of a competitor along the way as well, like, Litecoin, Doji, etc. But in the end, I think right now, gradually in past 24 months, Wall Street, sovereign, institution, most of the institutions, they come to a consensus that, Bitcoin is the digital store of the value. Yeah, so...
Is it really, or is it just fear of missing out? Because we know Wall Street and we know the capital markets, they don't like missing out, right?
Yeah.
Is it really driven by some strong fundamentals, or is it literally, I need to jump on this bandwagon?
Yeah, I think, in the asset class analysis, there are a lot of asset class with the fundamental, like real estate, they always generate cash flow, right? Like, the farmland and the Apple stock. But there are some store of the value which doesn't generate cash flow with, zero traditional fundamental, but they're still there, which is like gold and Bitcoin. But what kind of thing is, make gold as gold today and make Bitcoin as Bitcoin today? I think in the end of the day, it's just a global consensus.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. Us humans, we give things value, right?
Yes.
And as a result of that, things move continuously.
Yeah.
So look, your reputation, this man's got an amazing CV, by the way, and if you do want to get into crypto, I'd love to know what his portfolio holding is, right? But how do you spot, so let's park Bitcoin, but there's lots of other, cryptos out there, there's lots of other layer 1 protocols and what have you. You were early into Solana, right?
Yes.
So how do you spot the winner? What do you compare it with Ethereum, Bitcoin, or how do you do it?
Yeah. Well, I think, there are 3 categories of the asset within this asset class: the digital gold, the tech altcoin, and the meme coin. Yeah, so we have different investment theses in those 3 categories. So to answer your question, for this season, fortunately, we bought like north of $50 million at the cost of the $34 for Solana. So basically, as of today, it's like 8x or 9x, which is one of the very important bet for us. And why, how we figure out, Solana is our most important bet is because, actually back to 2023, the market is still in the period of the recovery.
Yeah.
But we do see, there are some kind of fundamental happening in Solana. From the supply side, if we take analogy of a iOS system or Android system, basically this is a two-sided market. You have developer, you have the user. And back to 2023, even the market is in a recovery period, but we do see there's very strong inflow of the developers coming to the Solana and develop, all different kind of protocol, etc. And also on the demand side, even back then, the Bitcoin is still on the way of the recovery, but people like Solana. The users, they feel, Solana is cool. They want to come to Solana to trade the different, meme coin, etc. So we feel like, okay, so this will be a contrarian bet for us because, back then, there's not many investors over world who, put a heavy bet in Solana.
Yeah.
Because, Solana is sort of like collateral damage along with the FTX. Yeah. but we made a contrarian bet and we invest, and in the end of the day, we monetize by those strong fundamental change.
So you saw the potential in the infrastructure, so the network, the nodes, the opportunity for developers to build on top, to create applications. So we have, you have the value of the token, and then you have the token velocity.
Yes.
So the token release schedule and how the economy grows on top of the hardware, you dig into all of that, you lift the lid and say, this is the potential of this economy to grow. Because a lot of people who buy crypto don't do that. They're just trying to buy a trend or a wave. But you do the fundamental, let's look under the cover, right?
Yeah. If I take analogy of the real world, like what kind of currency you would like to hold? I guess most of the people say, if I can only hold one currency, I would like to hold US dollar. But why? Because, US economy is a strong fundamental one, right? It is the largest capital market, the largest consumption market, etc. And the reason that, we bet in Solana or Tong or Sui, those type of currency, is because of the similar reason. Because, we believe, those digital economy, it is growing rapidly.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I remember standing up in front of a family office conference in 2017 saying, you need to hold some crypto. The room was not receptive at the time. And if they did own Bitcoin, they never told anybody they did, right?
Yeah.
Now, I would say a large percentage of family offices have some kind of holding, especially the next generation. We heard the second generation this morning, the second and third generation coming through. They are crypto savvy. They are digital children. So, it's horses for courses, isn't it? Everyone should hold some crypto, right?
Exactly. I think, all of the asset class, they have, they will have to go through some period from early adoption and then go to the massive adoption.
Yeah.
I guess, not every family office own the alternative assets or like VCPE back to 1990. I guess, back then it is like very traditional 60-40 traditional portfolio, right? But I guess, right now, most of the family office, they have the allocation in PE and VC. And probably like most of them, they have the direct or indirect exposure in the tech company, even without the profit. And the people are getting used to the valuation of P over sales instead of like P over E. Yeah. So we do say like, crypto assets is a paradigm shift because when we talk about asset class paradigm shift, it not happen every year. It happened like every 100 years. Equity as asset class was innovated back to 1600. And then you come across, the future, the derivative, etc. But I mean, like, for crypto assets, we do feel like it is a brand new asset class, and there are, several categories. And I do strongly recommend all the family office, all the individual investor, if you have, some direct or indirect exposure, to AI, those type of new asset, you should also have some exposure into the crypto as well.
But generally, the families that I know that have crypto, they dabble at it. Some of the family members have got a wallet, they've got a bit. I don't speak to many, or they certainly don't admit it, that they've got, a strategy to buy chunks and hold chunks. Like, I'm going to go and buy 50,000 Bitcoin because, right? Or I'm going to put, 2% of my spare cash into this because. Do you?
Yeah, I think, well, this is a great topic. There are two types of ways to consider the asset allocation into the crypto. One is defensive way, another way would be offensive way. Yeah, let's start by defensive. If I made a market argument about how to build up a defensive portfolio to make your portfolio be robust in an uncertain, future, why, let's say Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the correlation with all global S&P 500 index is 0.2. As we all know, most of the asset class, they are highly correlated to the S&P right now. So that's the correlation, 0.2. And the Sharpe ratio of the Bitcoin in past, 14 years is 1.0. So for every, individual investor or high net worth family office, etc., you want to have some certain allocation with high volatility, because in that case, volatility help you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also low correlation to major S&P 500 index, that would be Bitcoin. So, from that point of view, Bitcoin even become a defensive, protection to the portfolio instead of as a risky bet.
Yes. So for those of you not aware of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is engineered to be volatile because it's fixed supply. which is a point that's often missed. You know, people go, well, I've got Bitcoin, you know, I can't sleep at night because I'm looking at my phone, and in the morning you got it's tough, right, holding crypto, because it is volatile.
Yeah.
So, like you, I'm a big Web3 person, okay?
Awesome.
And, you know, my definition of Web3 is turning the pyramid on its head that puts the customer in control of their journey, their data, their experience. Now, crypto is fundamental to handing that power back to the consumer, their ID, their sovereignty over their data, over their things, right?
Yes.
How do you spot a good Web3 opportunity and give a case for why the families should not just look at Bitcoin per se, but actually invest in Web3 opportunities, because that's even bigger potentially?
Yeah. Like I mentioned before, you know, currently there are three types of the category of crypto. One is the digital gold, aka Bitcoin. Second would be, you know, all the technology auto coin. The third would be meme coin. Yeah, let's put, you know, meme coin aside. For the technology auto coin, right now, basically, you know, the crypto as an industry has redone a lot of, you know, sector of the traditional business. Basically, you know, Bitcoin reduced the digital gold. And the USDT right now, it has become a 19th largest, you know, the US Treasury hold. And a lot of, you know, the laborers, all different kind of people from different country, if you want to send the money, basically USDT and the USDC can help you to remittance within just 1 second with like, you know, near 0% of the commission, yeah? And when we talk about like, you know, Ethereum and Solana, you know, fortunately Solana and Tong and Sui, you know, are those those are our future portfolio. Those we can interpret as a fintech cloud. And on those type of fintech cloud, which we call as a layer one, you know, there are a lot of stable coins circulating and a lot of, you know, centralized and decentralized NFT protocols circulating over there. So you can, you know, sort of see the whole crypto industry as a fintech 2.0. And this industry today is only like 3 trillion market cap. But if we compare to the traditional finance industry, it's like double-digit trillion dollar. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe you're being a little bit harsh. I mean, if you look at all of the, you know, the crypto infrastructure, the custodians, the exchanges, you know, all of the activity, it's a sizable industry, right? It's a sizable market cap.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And quite often it's misreported as being small and niche and doesn't compare with traditional capital markets.
Yeah, I think
it's a bit misleading, right?
Exactly. It is totally comparable. I mean, you know, right now Bitcoin just spent 15 years to become a $2 trillion asset class. And Bitcoin right now is larger than the market cap of Aramco. And we know Aramco is the backbone of the modern civilization. But Bitcoin is larger than the market cap of Aramco. And also, like, you know, when we talk about the capital market, everyone think, you know, when you want to go to the public market, you have to go to US, you have to go to Hong Kong and London. But I want to share information that crypto as a capital market is a global second largest capital market as of today. Binance, the daily volume is larger than New York Stock Exchange recently. So basically, you know, for all the founders, you know, for all the business owners who want to go to public in the future, I would say, you know, you should consider either US, New York Stock Exchange, or crypto capital market.
It's
even I am from Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think, you know, the crypto, the Bitcoin, it gets a bad rap, right? And it gets a bad rap from Wall Street, or it used to.
Yes.
Who are then buying it through the back door anyway. So, you know, it's smoke and mirrors. People are trying to throw you off the scent. So, how far do you think Bitcoin can go? I mean, we're in the last, 3 million, 2.5? There's about 3 million locked up in wallets that have lost. Dave Kleiman's account's got 1 million in it. You know, Satoshi apparently has got 1 million Bitcoin in it.
Yeah.
Where's it going to go? Can it hit $1 million, or are we just going to run out of energy?
Yeah. Well, from my point of view, I think 1 million will be just a matter of time. And I can share my rationale. Basically, you know, what does the 1 million mean? It's like Bitcoin is going to go 10x. And 10x will make the Bitcoin from today 2 trillion to 20 trillion, roughly on par with the gold.
Interesting.
Yeah. But having said that, like, Bitcoin not only represent a store of value, like gold, but also, there are a lot of developers, build the application on Bitcoin, and also Bitcoin, basically represent a sort of index return for the whole crypto. Yeah, so that is why, let's say the thought leader, Michael Saylor, et cetera, their expectation would be way more bullish than me.
Yeah. So there you go. We heard it here. Make sure you've got a strategy for crypto. Don't ignore Bitcoin. It's not done yet. It could still go to the moon. And Bill, look, we could talk for hours.
Thank you.
And I'm going to get you for a drink later because I do want to talk to you a bit more.
I look forward.
Fantastic talk. And seriously, talk to this man. He knows what he's talking about with regard to Bitcoin and crypto. Thank you, Bill.
Cheers. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant.